In the heart of the Middle East, shrouded in secrecy and cloaked in mystique, operates Israel's formidable intelligence agency, the Mossad. This organization, often compared to the CIA or MI6, has a unique and storied history that sets it apart. Tasked with safeguarding the Jewish state from a multitude of threats, the Mossad stands as a silent protector, a guardian in the shadows, ever vigilant and always prepared to act. Its agents operate in the shadows, their actions often unknown, their successes whispered in hushed tones. These operatives are trained to blend into their surroundings, becoming virtually invisible as they carry out their missions. The very name Mossad evokes a sense of awe and intrigue, a testament to its reputation as one of the world's most effective and feared intelligence agencies. Its emblem, a menorah surrounded by olive branches, symbolizes both enlightenment and peace, yet its operations are anything but peaceful. Formed in 1949, a mere year after the birth of Israel, the Mossad emerged from the ashes of war, a testament to the fledgling nation's determination to protect its hard-won independence. The agency was born out of necessity, a response to the existential threats facing the new state. Its mission is to collect intelligence, thwart terrorism, and conduct covert operations beyond Israel's borders. This broad mandate allows the Mossad to operate with a level of flexibility and autonomy that is unparalleled in the intelligence community. The Mossad's motto, "By way of deception, thou shalt do war," encapsulates its modus operandi, a reliance on cunning, guile, and subterfuge to achieve its objectives. This philosophy has guided the agency through countless operations, both successful and controversial. From the bustling souks of Beirut to the sun-drenched streets of Buenos Aires, Mossad agents operate in a world of aliases, disguises, and ever-shifting loyalties. Their ability to adapt and improvise is key to their success in the field. Their tradecraft is a blend of cutting-edge technology, meticulous planning, and an acute understanding of human psychology. This combination allows them to outmaneuver their adversaries and stay one step ahead in the high-stakes game of espionage. They are masters of deception, their actions often daring and audacious, always calculated to protect the state of Israel and its people. Each operation is a carefully orchestrated dance of strategy and execution. The Mossad's reach extends far beyond the Middle East, its agents operating in every corner of the globe, their eyes and ears constantly seeking out threats to Israel's security. This global network ensures that no potential threat goes unnoticed. They are the invisible guardians of the Jewish state, their actions often shrouded in secrecy, their successes rarely acknowledged, their failures even more closely guarded. These unsung heroes work tirelessly behind the scenes, their contributions critical to the nation's survival. Their world is one of high stakes and even higher risks, where the line between right and wrong can blur, and where the fate of a nation often rests on their shoulders. The Mossad's operatives navigate this complex landscape with skill and determination, ever committed to their mission. The world watched in horror as the 1972 Munich Olympics, a celebration of international camaraderie and athletic prowess, descended into a scene of unimaginable terror. What was meant to be a showcase of human spirit and unity quickly turned into a nightmare that would forever scar the history of the Games. Members of the Palestinian terrorist group Black September infiltrated the Olympic Village, taking 11 Israeli athletes and coaches hostage. The audacity and precision of their attack shocked the world, revealing vulnerabilities in what was supposed to be a secure environment. The ensuing standoff, broadcast live on television screens around the world, culminated in a bloodbath, leaving the hostages and one German police officer dead. The images of chaos and violence were seared into the collective memory of millions, a grim reminder of the ever-present threat of terrorism. The Munich Massacre, as it came to be known, sent shockwaves across the globe, exposing the vulnerability of even the most heavily guarded events to the scourge of terrorism. Governments around the world were forced to rethink their security protocols, leading to a new era of heightened vigilance and precaution. In the aftermath of the Munich Massacre, a wave of grief and anger swept through Israel. The nation was united in its sorrow, mourning the loss of its athletes who had gone to compete in peace but had returned in coffins. The nation mourned the loss of its athletes, their dreams shattered by an act of unspeakable barbarity. Memorials were held, and the faces of the 11 victims became symbols of a nation's pain and resolve. Prime Minister Golda Meir, her voice trembling with emotion, vowed that the perpetrators would be hunted down and brought to justice. Her words resonated deeply with a grieving nation, igniting a fierce determination to seek retribution. "We will pursue them to the ends of the earth," she declared, her words echoing the nation's thirst for vengeance. This was not just a promise, it was a declaration of war against those who dared to harm Israeli citizens. Thus began Operation Wrath of God, a top-secret Mossad operation shrouded in mystery and controversy. The mission was clear: to hunt down and eliminate those responsible for the Munich massacre, no matter where they hid. Tasked with hunting down and eliminating those responsible for the Munich massacre, the Mossad embarked on a global manhunt, their agents fanning out across Europe and the Middle East, determined to avenge the deaths of their countrymen. The operation was relentless, involving meticulous planning and execution. Operation Wrath of God was not just about retribution, it was about sending a message, a stark warning to terrorist organizations around the world that Israel would not tolerate attacks on its citizens. The operation's success was intended to serve as a deterrent, showcasing Israel's resolve and capability. It was a turning point in Israel's fight against terrorism, marking a shift towards a more proactive and aggressive stance. The nation was no longer content to merely defend itself. It would take the fight to those who threatened its people. The Mossad, once a relatively unknown entity, was thrust into the spotlight, its capabilities and ruthlessness becoming the stuff of legend. The agency's actions during Operation Wrath of God cemented its reputation as one of the most formidable intelligence organizations in the world, a legacy born out of a nation's quest for justice and vengeance. Black September, the Palestinian terrorist group responsible for the Munich massacre, emerged from the chaos and violence of the late 1960s. This period was marked by intense conflict and upheaval in the Middle East, with various factions vying for power and recognition. Born out of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, Black September sought to internationalize the Palestinian struggle against Israel, using terrorism as a means of drawing attention to their cause. Their tactics were brutal and uncompromising, aimed at making headlines and forcing the world to take notice of their plight. Their name, Black September, was a chilling reference to a bloody crackdown on Palestinian militants by the Jordanian army in 1970. This event, known as Black September, saw thousands of Palestinians killed and many more displaced, leaving a deep scar in the collective memory of the Palestinian people. The Munich Olympics, held in a Germany still grappling with the ghosts of its Nazi past, provided Black September with a global stage for their deadly act of terror. The world watched in horror as the events unfolded, bringing the Palestinian-Israeli conflict into living rooms across the globe. The Games, meant to showcase a new, peaceful Germany, were transformed into a symbol of the world's vulnerability to terrorism. The Olympic spirit of unity and peace was shattered, replaced by fear and uncertainty. The images of the masked terrorists on the balcony of the Israeli athletes' quarters, their faces hidden but their intentions clear, became an indelible image of terror. The failed rescue attempt at Fürstenfeldbruck Air Base, where a desperate bid to save the hostages ended in tragedy, highlighted the complexities and dangers of dealing with such ruthless adversaries. The coffins draped in Israeli flags became seared into the collective memory of a generation. These images were not just symbols of loss but also of the enduring struggle and the high stakes involved in the conflict. The Munich massacre exposed the world to the cold-blooded brutality of Black September and the depths of their hatred for Israel. It was a stark reminder of the lengths to which they were willing to go to achieve their goals. It shattered the illusion of safety at international sporting events and highlighted the growing threat of terrorism on the global stage. Security measures were ramped up, but the sense of vulnerability remained. For Israel, Munich was a national trauma, a wound that never truly healed. The loss was deeply personal and national, affecting every Israeli citizen. The images of the slain athletes, their bodies sprawled on the tarmac at Fürstenfeldbruck, became a haunting reminder of the human cost of terrorism and fueled a burning desire for revenge. This desire would shape Israeli policy and actions for years to come. The Munich massacre was a turning point in Israel's history, hardening its resolve to combat terrorism with an iron fist. The Israeli government launched a series of retaliatory strikes and covert operations aimed at dismantling terrorist networks. It also marked the beginning of a long and bloody chapter in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, one that would claim countless lives and sow the seeds of mistrust and hatred for generations to come. The cycle of violence seemed unending, with each side entrenched in their positions. The ghosts of Munich would continue to haunt both sides, shaping their perceptions and fueling the cycle of violence that continues to this day. The legacy of that tragic event remains a powerful reminder of the enduring impact of terrorism and the ongoing struggle for peace. Following the Munich massacre, Golda Meir issued a stark directive: hunt down and eliminate those responsible. The Mossad, thrust into uncharted territory, embarked on a global manhunt, its agents fanning out across Europe and the Middle East, determined to avenge the deaths of the Israeli athletes and send a message that Israel would not be a target with impunity. The operation, codenamed Wrath of God, was shrouded in secrecy, its very existence denied by the Israeli government. The Mossad's pursuit of the Black September operatives was relentless and unyielding. Agents, operating under deep cover, infiltrated Palestinian communities across Europe and the Middle East, their eyes and ears constantly searching for vital clues. They cultivated informants, turned assets, and used every tool at their disposal to track down their elusive targets. The Mossad's reach extended across borders, its agents operating with impunity in foreign lands, their actions often shrouded in mystery and deniability. The hunt for the Munich perpetrators was not without its significant challenges. The Mossad faced logistical hurdles, political sensitivities, and the constant threat of exposure. The agents, operating in hostile environments, often found themselves alone, their lives on the line. Yet they persevered, driven by a sense of duty to their fallen countrymen and a thirst for justice that transcended national borders. The Mossad's pursuit of the Black September operatives was not just about revenge, it was about accountability. It was about demonstrating to the world that those who perpetrated acts of terror against Israel would not find safe haven. It was a message delivered with deadly precision, a testament to the Mossad's unwavering commitment to protecting Israel and its citizens from those who sought to do them harm.